Welcome. Let's begin by finding ourselves somewhere comfortable to sit, or if you prefer, to lie. When you found your spot, close down your eyes and focus on your breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose and letting the air sigh out slowly through your mouth. Again, inhaling deeply through the nose and then sighing out slowly through the mouth, feeling the sensation of the air on your lips as it moves past. Inhaling and sighing out. One more time. Nice deep breath through the nose and then sigh the air out. Whenever you feel distracted, try to come back to that thought of the breath. I'm going to tell you about the time I had with my son just leading up to Christmas last year. He turned 17. He was really keen to buy some presents for the family, but like everyone, he was a bit short on money. So I suggested to him that he takes the axe from the shed and goes to the woods that was just down the road, finds some fallen trees, cut up some logs and see if he could sell them. He wasn't that keen, but he gave it a go, grabbed the axe, grabbed the wheelbarrow and took himself off to the woods. Spent about an hour chopping up some fallen wood and successfully sold some on to an elderly couple up the road. He only got a tenner for it, but he was happy. He'd come back with money in his hands. So the next day he decided to go again. This time he spent 2 hours in the self-same woods, chopping up the fallen trees, loading up the wheelbarrow, and off he went to try and sell his wood. He did sell on, but he came back home a little disheartened. He'd only cut as much wood as he had the previous day, and he'd spent twice as long doing it. We sat down, we had a little chat, and I encouraged him to go out the next day and try again. And that he did. So up in the morning with the axe, with the wheelbarrow, off to the wood, and he disappeared this time for 3 hours. And he came back later. This time he was thoroughly beside himself. He'd only managed to cut a small amount of wood, and he'd tried to sell on, but he'd only made a fiver from another couple that we knew. I knew he was getting more and more frustrated, so together we went to the shed and I dug out the sharpening stone for the axe, and I showed him how to work the axe across the stone to make the blade as sharp as you could. And I sat and watched and gave him some encouragement as he worked the axe across the stone, and eventually he made it as sharp as a razor. So the next day back out he went, axe and wheelbarrow. He was out for an hour, managed to cut down twice as much wood as he had on the first day, and he revisited some of the neighbours that he'd been to before, and they were happy to buy his logs, and he came back with a nice bit of money in his pocket. So we're all guilty of this in our daily lives, maybe in our yoga practice, maybe at work, maybe with our parenting skills. Just repeating the same pattern we've done before over and over again without change, and somehow expecting ourselves to get better, when what we should really be doing is concentrating on sharpening an axe, finding a way to improve our skill set. So find some time to reflect on what you're doing. Think if there's a way that you can do it better. Do your research. Listen to your peers. Take more notice of your teacher. It can be really hard to be that self-critical, but once you find your way, the benefits are really immense and really rewarding. So before we open our eyes again, just take a minute on your own, bringing yourself back to that sensation of the breath, becoming really aware of the air filling your lungs as it passes through your nose, and that sensation as it passes across your lips when you're sighing out. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, become aware of the room, and take a moment to thank yourself for these few minutes you spent concentrating on yourself.